dears, from today onwards we can deal with the module 5, that is the network theorems. What is a electrical network or simply network, can you say? A network is an electrical circuit which consists of components like resistors, capacitances, inductance, generators, etc. Such a networks can be solved by using many type of theorems. Simply we can say Ohm's law can be used to solve such networks up to a particular level. And also the Kirchhoff laws are much useful to solve some type of networks. And there may be some many type of complicated networks to solve. So in such cases we can use different type of theorems such as Thevenin's theorem, superposition theorem, Norton's theorem, maximum power transfer theorem, which we can study in this module. So the networks which cannot solve using Ohm's law and also using Kirchhoff's law, we can solve using different theorems such as what I said. Okay, now before going to that theorem, we have to be familiar with some parameter which we use in the network theorem. Now we can familiar with some terms which we are going to deal in the module network theorem. Now this first one is parameters. Parameters mainly includes the element like resistance, capacitance, inductance, etc. which we are going to connect in a network. Next one is circuit. And what is a circuit? It is a closed conducting path through which a current is flowing or a current is supposed to flow. And the next one, linear circuit and non-linear circuit. The parameters which do not change with the changes in the voltage or current or EMF or current are said to be linear circuit, and a circuit in which the parameters changes with the changes made corresponding to voltage and current are said to be non-linear circuit. And also bilateral, unilateral. The circuit properties remain same for the current flow is in either of the direction, that is said to be bilateral. If the circuit properties are changing with the change in current flow direction, that is unilateral. And also the network. It is a compact circuit with one or more interconnecting closed conducting paths. And the next one, passive and active network. If a particular circuit does not contain any sort of source of EMF in that circuit, that is said to be passive. If it contains one or more source of EMF in that circuit, that is said to be active circuit. Next terms, the node and branch. A junction in which two or more circuit elements meet in a network is said to be a node. Okay, that is in this circuit, this is a node and this is a node. Like that. And branch is the part of circuit which is between the two nodes. That is, and this is a node and this is a node and this portion is said to be a branch. Now loop and mesh. Loop is a closed path in a network in which no element or node encounters more than once. And a mesh is a loop that contains no other loops in it. So this is a mesh and this is a mesh and this is a mesh. In such a way there are 1, 2, 3 meshes separately. In a mesh there will be no other loops. And here when we consider the loops, it is a loop and this 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 is a loop and the whole circuit is also a loop. So altogether in this we can consider there are 6 loops, but there are only 3 mesh. Next, the basic knowledge we need to get when we are going to deal with the network theorem are the Kirchhoff laws. As we know, Kirchhoff law, there will be a first law and second law. In first law, it means that the algebraic sum of current entering a junction is equal to 0. That is, the current entering a junction is considered as positive and leaving a junction is considered as negative. So in this we can write I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4 minus I5 is equal to 0. As we know, I1, I2, I3 are entering into this junction and these two are leaving. So that is I1 plus I2 plus I3 equal to I4 plus I5. That is current entering a junction is equal to current leaving a leaving that same junction. And here the Kirchhoff's second law. That is, the Kirchhoff's second law states that the algebraic sum of the product of current and the resistance in a closed conducting network plus algebraic sum of EMF in that circuit is equal to 0. That is, sum of IR plus sum of EMF is equal to 0. That is the Kirchhoff's second law. These are the sign conventions which we have to apply when we consider to solve a problem using Kirchhoff laws. That is sign of EMF and sign of IR drop. In sign of EMF, we know if we consider a EMF source that is from negative to positive, that is a rise in potential, it is changing from negative to positive, then the sign of EMF is taken as positive. And here positive to negative, for fall in potential, sign is taken as negative. And in case of IR drop, here is the resistor and a current is passing through this. If the path we are considering through the loop is same as that of current flow, sign of voltage drop across that resistor is negative. If the path we are considering in that loop is opposite to that of current flow in that network, the sign of voltage drop is considered as positive. Now, the first method we using to solve the network theorem is solving simultaneous equations method. In that method, by getting the Cramer's rule solution, we can easily find out the solution for the network. Okay. First, we can Cramer's rule for the solving network theorem. In that, first we can deal with this equation having two unknowns. That is, Ax plus By is equal to E, Cx plus Dy is equal to F. Okay. In that, we can write in the determinant form, that is A, B, C, D into X, Y is equal to unknowns E, F in the RHS. Okay. Now, we can say or solve del is equal to determinant A, B, C, D, the coefficients of this X and Y. And E, F are two unknowns and A, B, C, D are the coefficients of X and Y correspondingly. So we can write it as A, D minus BC. Okay. Now we can find delta X and delta Y in such a way that first we have to replace the first column using these unknowns, that is E, F, B, D is equal to, and here it will be replacing the unknowns in the second column B, D, that is here E, F. So is equal to E, D minus B, F and here A, F minus C, E. Now we can find the unknowns X and Y from this equation as X is equal to delta X by delta and Y is equal to delta Y by delta. X and Y are the unknowns here, and we can find out simply X is equal to delta X by delta and Y is equal to delta Y by delta. We can have A, B, C, D, E, F will be some numerical values. Next is solving equation with three unknowns X, Y, Z. Okay, then these three are the equations. From this equation, A, B, C, E, F, G, I, J, K are the coefficients of three unknowns, and D, H, L are some RHS equations, that is some numerical values. Okay, then we can write it in the denominator form like this, with the coefficients into unknowns is equal to RHS of the equations. Okay, then delta will be this. This determinant can be written as delta. When we replace with DHL in the first column corresponding to X, we can get del X, and when we replace DHL for the second column, we get del Y, and for the third column, we get the del Z. By getting the four denominator values, del X, del Y, del Z, we can simply find out X, Y, Z like this. So, by replacing this equation by some practical equation, we can simply solve the simultaneous equation using this Cramer's rule method. This is the application of Cramer's rule to solve the simultaneous equation. We can find out some problem for the network theorem by the application of this method. We can do a problem, determine the current in an unbalanced circuit using determinants method. For that we have given with a circuit like this. In this there is the only current direction we have given. Now we can distribute the current through this branch. That is, I am splitting here it as I1 and I2, and I1 is passing in this direction, I2 in this direction. From this branch B, junction B, I1 is again splitting as I3 and I1 minus I3, and here I3 is passing to this junction. So from D to C it will be I2 plus I3. So altogether here it will be retaining as I. We are splitting this current using the junction method. Okay, and the 4 resistances are specified in the circuit. And also in applied already EMF is given with a 2 volt which is having an internal resistance 2 ohm. Now we can solve this problem using Kirchhoff law, applying to different loops such as A, B, D, B, C, D, B, and A, B, C, D, A, etc. We can consider the loops A, B, D, A first. Okay. Apply Kirchhoff voltage law to A, B, D, A. You remember one thing. If we are considering the path in the same direction of current, it will be negative. If in case of voltage drop, if it is considering the opposite direction of current flow, that is considered as positive voltage drop. And rise in potential positive, fall in potential negative. Remember these sign conventions before deriving such problems. Okay. Then A, B, D, A. The current direction and path is same into resistance 1, that is minus I1. And here also B, D. I3 into 4 internal resistance for this circuit, for this component, that is I3, same direction, minus 4 I3. And here opposite direction 2 I2 equal to 0. That is I1 plus 4 I3 equal to 2 I2. Leave it as equation number 1. Okay. Here remember minus I1 and minus 4 I3 IR representation, and the loop is considering same direction of current flow, so negative, and opposite direction of current flow here, that is DA, so it is positive. And like this we can derive the loop BCDB Kirchhoff voltage law, BCDB. Okay. In BC, same path as that of current I1 minus I3, same path we are considering, so minus into resistance 2. And here opposite direction, that is plus, resistance 3 into current I2 plus I3. Okay. And the third term here, that's also opposite direction, so 4 I3 equal to 0. So considering minus 2 I1 plus 2 I3 plus 3 I2 plus 3 I3 plus 4 I3 equal to 0. That's equal to 2 I1 plus 3 I2 plus 2 plus 3, 5 plus 4 plus 9 I3 equal to 0 from the second Kirchhoff law. Apply the Kirchhoff voltage law to the loop A, B, C, E, A. You know A, B, C, E, A. So this is the loop, outer loop. Okay, from A to B, that is minus I1 into 1 ohm. From B to C, that is minus of 2 into I1 minus I3. Then C to E. C to E, there is IR drop and also EMF. You have to consider these separately. So the EMF here, it is the negative to positive. So that is the rising potential, and also here the same direction of current, that is minus of I, that is I1 plus I2. We know I1 plus I2 is I. Minus of I1 plus I2 into 2. 2 is the internal resistance. And A, B, C, E, A. So this is the potential, minus to positive. So the rising potential is given as positive, plus 2 equal to 0. From rearranging this, minus I1 minus 2I1 plus 2I3 minus 2I1 minus 2I2 is equal to minus 2. So minus I1 minus 2I1 minus 2I1 minus 5I1 minus 2I2 plus 2I3 equal to minus of 2. This is equation number 3. We have the previous two equations like this. So, from this we can find out the determinant form and we can solve using simultaneous equation solving method using Cramer's rule. So, we can change this equation by giving a multiplying with a negative sign like this, 5i1 plus 2i2 minus 2i3 equal to 2. Then from this equation I am going to write it as in the determinant form minus 4, minus 2, 3, 9, 5, 2, minus 2 into unknowns I1, I2, I3 are the current components which you have to find out is equal to 0, 0, 2. Okay, from this we know del is equal to minus 1, 2, minus 4, minus 2, 3, 9, 5, 2, minus 2. And del 1 is equal to 0, 0, 2, 2, 3, 2, minus 4, 9, minus 2. The values will be del is equal to, you have to solve it, 182 and here it is equal to del 1 is equal to 60. And also similarly del 2 is equal to replacing with this RHS with the second column and del 3 is equal to replacing with the third column. So we get 34 and 2 correspondingly. Now we can simply find out the I1, I2, I3 values such as I1 is equal to del 1 by del, I2 is equal to del 2 by del, I2, I3 is equal to del 3 by del. By getting the values, we can easily find out these three current components from the previous numerical values we obtained. Thank you. In this way, we can simply find out such a bridge network using the simultaneous solution method using the Cramer's rule application to the determinant solutions. Thank you.